Hello students, welcome to short video concept session on Medico apps. Today I'll be discussing a concept on secondary dentin. So what will be the answer if an examiner asks you what is secondary dentin? So secondary dentin will be discussing in this video lecture. But before that, I want you to subscribe our channel by hitting the bell icon so that whenever I update such important topics or concepts or MCQ discussions on the dental topics, you'll get and you'll be notified. So let's start by understanding what will be the answer for secondary dentin question. So, if I ask you as an examiner, what do you understand by secondary dentin? What will be your answer? What is your concept behind the dentin? So, dentin basically consists of three types: the primary dentin, the secondary dentin, and the tertiary dentin. Here in this topic or in this lecture, I'll be discussing briefly about the secondary dentin and how we will answer the questions on secondary dentin. So, primary dentin, secondary dentin. What is the difference between a primary dentin and a secondary dentin? So primary dentin is a dentin which is formed before the tooth eruption, whereas the secondary dentin forms after the tooth eruption. And specifically, if you ask when is the secondary dentin formed, so the answer for that will be after the completion of root formation. Okay, so as I have told you that there are three types of dentin. So this bluish part is your primary dentin, which is formed before the tooth erupts. The yellowish part here is the secondary dentin, which is formed after the tooth erupts. And last one is the tertiary dentin, or we can also say the reparative dentin. So as you can understand by the word reparative, that means when it is repaired. But coming back to our secondary dentin and sticking to that topic, what is the importance here? So the important points here to discuss on secondary dentin and to answer those are that firstly, I have told you that it is formed after the tooth completion, after the root completion, that is after the tooth eruption. Second point about the secondary dentin is that it forms at a slower rate when compared to the primary dentin. Okay, this is the second key point. The first key point was after the completion of the root formation. The second key point is that it is formed at a slower rate as compared to the secondary dentin. Now, another important point about this secondary dentin, which divides or which classifies it from the primary and tertiary dentin, is that in secondary dentin, the direction of your dentinal tubules, okay, here I am specifically telling you that the direction of the dentinal tubules is more asymmetrical and complicated. What do you understand by that? So let's get into this image here, which I have just shown. So this is a proper primary dentin which is coming straight. Now whenever there is in the secondary dentin, these dentinal tubules have a sharp curve. Okay, they have a sharp curve when they move from primary to secondary. So when they are moving from primary to secondary, they are having a sharp curve. That means they are more asymmetrical and complicated when we are comparing it to the primary dentin. So that is the third important key point, that the dentinal tubules direction is more asymmetrical and complicated. How? As they are more the dentinal tubules are more sharply curved when we move from primary to secondary dentin. Another important point to add here for secondary dentin is that the secondary dentin is present in all the cavity, in all the pulp cavity aspect. Okay, the entire pulp cavity is covered or is lined by the secondary dentin. But to be very specific, the pulp chamber in a multi-rooted teeth, that means the tooth which has multi-rooted, which has multiple roots, the pulp chamber of those tooth have secondary dentin. I am here specifically talking and discussing about the secondary dentin. The multi-rooted teeth, the pulp chamber of the multi-rooted teeth have secondary dentin, and they are more thick on the roof surface and the floor surface as compared to the side walls. Okay, these are the side walls, but they are thinner on the side walls as compared to the roof and the floor. The roof and the floor of the pulp chamber of the multi-rooted teeth have thicker secondary dentin. So this is the primary, secondary and tertiary dentin, but specifically I have discussed about the secondary dentin, comparing it with the primary and secondary so that it can be easier for you to answer the viva question even in the MCQs, or if it is asked as a short note question. So keep answering and keep learning such kind of short questions and short concepts. And don't forget to subscribe to BDS Express YouTube channel in case you want daily updates on such important dental topics. I want you to join our exclusive WhatsApp group, which is the link of that group is www.medicoapps.org/group, and the link of this group is also given in the description of this video. So please subscribe our channel so that you can get all these important updates for your examination and you can easily answer and understand the concepts. Thank you for now. Good day. Good luck.